Hello everybody, we are back again doing another video, this time talking about the season preview for the 2023 Hamilton Tiger Cats. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me, new to the channel, whatever the case may be. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first question is, can the new guys gel? Hamilton brought in a plethora of big name talent that are fresh faces to the team. You have Bo Levi Mitchell, Jameer Thurman, Duke Williams, James Butler, Kwaku Boateng, and more. There is a lot of talent that is infused in this Tabbies team that went 8-10 last year and has the fan base absolutely buzzing for a Grey Cup turnaround. And now that this is the case, they really do feel like they're in a need to contend. However, sports are riddled with teams that have made a lot of flashy moves in the offseason and not lived up to expectations and have faltered. So we're going to see what happens here. I think with so many names on both sides of the ball, the chance to rise to the occasion is there, but there's also guys that have to be replaced. I'm excited to see how Hamilton does here because they do bring in some personalities, especially a guy like Duke Williams that's had some health issues, and he's also got the personality that can be a negative if you're talking with the media or just interaction with how the CFL wants him to behave, I guess. But I personally don't care. I'm a big Duke Williams fan, and that is going to be fun if he's able to have a bounce back year. Boateng ended up having no season at all. He actually missed all of the 2022 season. He was supposed to play in Ottawa, had an Achilles tear. If he can come back and play up to his potential, I think that for Hamilton, those could be two great pickups and part of the many additions for this group that have the potential to gel and make a great team. The second talking point here is whether or not the coaching staff are feeling the heat. Typically, we talk about these great teams, and we really do focus on the players or these teams that have the potential to be great in a lot of people's opinions, and we focus on them. But I think the coaches deserve a lot of attention too, especially in this situation in Hamilton. I think things could get kind of dicey early on if they don't live up to their potential. Head coach Orlando Steinauer, you have the offensive coordinator Tommy Condell, and then the defensive coordinator Mark Washington. All have been there for some time in their respective roles, and I think are in a spot where if they have another bad start to the year like they did last year when they started 4-10, that's not even a start, that's basically the majority of the season, they're going to be gone. And for them, that run to the playoffs is the only thing that saved them for a lot of people. But I think that now they're in a situation where just getting into the playoffs is not good enough right now, and they are going to have to possibly worry about the current regime breathing down their necks. I don't think all three will be gone by the end of the season, but I will say this. With this club, if they start off poorly, especially on one side of the ball, one of those guys is going to be gone, probably one of the coordinators. I don't exactly know what's going to happen here, but I do feel like the offense under Condell has the safety net of a lot of these guys, where I think the defense could be one of those situations where maybe Washington is let go. I really don't know, but I do think with this pressure-filled market right now, we could see the head coaching group or the head coaching staff feel the pressure just a bit. The third talking point here is which position group faces the most challenges in 2023. One group that I feel like sticks out a little bit more, that keeps getting more and more attention compared to the other groups, is the defensive backs. So for their secondary for Hamilton, they're losing a lot of guys. They were middle of the pack in the terms of defensive passing statistics, and they were a group that only returns two of the guys from last year, two of their starters. And I think the big thing here for Hamilton is whether or not their veteran experience that they've brought in is going to pay off. That's not always the case. We could be talking here 6-7 weeks into the season and say, well, Hamilton brought in these veteran guys, but they are just getting torched. So of course that's not going to be necessarily something that is cemented by saying that these guys that have been there and done that will continue to do so. But I think one of the things that they're going to have to work on is getting more interceptions. They finished with 19 last year, which was tied for second most in the league. That might be second fewest. I'm going to have to go back and check. But I do know one thing. Cameron Kelly, who is now in the XFL, led the team in interceptions with 5, and I think for that could be a problem there. He is a guy that, of course, isn't going to be coming back, so now you have to look for turnovers in that situation. If you're an average team defensively, you might need, especially in the secondary, some plays to be made, and if a guy that led the team in interceptions last year is gone, we'll see. But I do think for this group, a lot of it gets to be shutting things down through the air early on and just kind of building that confidence through the season. And here are my final thoughts for Hamilton. Hamilton was probably the most aggressive team in the league last year in terms of getting talent. Yes, I think Winnipeg did a great job retaining talent, but I think Hamilton did a really good job obtaining talent, and I think it should pay off. I look at this group, and I think that the East is up for the taking, and for Hamilton, they're the team that improved the most on paper, and they are a club that I feel like realistically should be the best team in the East. At least I think they should. But Levi Mitchell probably plays better too than Dane Evans did last year, especially with all those turnovers, and I would see them being a team that definitely should be a lock for double-digit win total this year. They've also got a spark as their backup quarterback, Matt Schultz, is there, and he stayed in Hamilton, so that could be really good news for them, and I'm hopeful that he gets some opportunities. Hopefully, Levi Mitchell plays pretty well, but maybe towards the end of the year he gets a chance to show what he's going to do, and I think realistically this club should have Grey Cup aspirations. But what are your thoughts on Hamilton for the season? Do you think they'll be good? Do you think they'll be bad? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe and have a great night.